When running a video system type of microscope where you're viewing the images on a monitor, the camera that you attach to your microscope is everything. You can have the best optics in the world on your scope, and if you put a crappy camera on it, you get crappy video. And when I picked out the kind of webcam I wanted, I picked it out so that it would be useful for the microscope, my telescope, security cam uses, documentary kinds of things, everything. I wanted something that was really good. That's why I picked out a Logitech QuickCam Pro 9000. Now you'll notice this doesn't really look like a QuickCam Pro 9000. That's because I modified it. I took a Radio Shack project case and gutted the camera, removed the stock lens, fitted a M12 times 0.5 millimeter webcam lens mount onto the board, and then packed the entire thing inside the Radio Shack project case. So I would have something that was universally useful. I've even got a 1/4-inch tripod socket thread that I tapped in to the base, and the front side has a hole for the microphone right here, the original mic, and there's the M1205 thread right there poking through the front of the case. This here I made from an old webcam lens and pieces of plastic, PVC pipe, etc. Drilled it, glued it, mounted it, and it just happened to work out. And that is my microscope slash telescope adapter. The tape that you see here, electrical tape around the barrel, this thing used to be much longer. I shortened it up because of telescope uses. It was too long. Long story. And so that's why there's 2 rows, because the pipe used to go all the way down. Now, of course, it only needs the first row, and it fits over like that. It's very secure. Blocks out more than enough light. It's really quite good. And the end result is, if you'll allow me a moment here to thread this back in, what I do is I just thread it till it's snug, line it up, and gently press down to seat it over. Going to the laptop here, this is Virtual Dub running. There's the QuickCam's USB port plugged in there, USB cable, and without any further ado, I took some copper sulfate, just a tiny piece, put it on a microscope slide. These are microscope slides from eBay. Excellent purchase. And I put a drop of water on the center of the slide, and then dropped the piece, the crystal of copper sulfate in the center of that, let it dissolve, and then I let it evaporate, and voila, that's the end result right there. Pretty crystals. And yes, that is definitely, see, that is definitely under the scope. And let's roll there. Good refocus. There's the next higher power up. So that's how my system works. This is how I use it. Also love using it on my big computer, my desktop computer, because the monitor's a 22-inch Acer, and boy, you can just really get into it. Very, very nice. The resolution here is a little low, I think, but with a quick little adjustment, it will go to, let me see, oh yeah, that really is low. Oh yeah, 960 by 720 at 15 frames a second, which is pretty much high def. It's a little shorter in the horizontal axis, but not so much as you'd notice. It's very, very pretty, and the 15 frames a second is plenty. Look how crystal clear and beautiful that is, huh? And it's very, very nice. This is why I don't use the eyepiece when I do my microscopy, because why? Why would I bother? The images are so much better on the monitor. Let's jack the brightness up a little bit. Images are so much better on the monitor. You don't have to hunch over an eyepiece. You can record at the same time as you view. It's really, really an awesome thing. All this out of a cheap, relatively cheap microscope. This thing was only a couple hundred, right? And a laptop and a dissected quick cam. That's the way it's done, baby. That's the way I do it. And I pull off really good results. I can get bacteria with ease. And in fact, on some of my expeditions, I've been seeing surprising things like fluid currents inside algae cells. That was one of my best ever. Too bad I didn't get that on video. Still looking for that algae. Some kind of spirogyra, I believe. Anyway, and details inside bacteria, which that's just mind-blowing to think that I came from, you know, like $30 microscopes as a kid, barely seeing protozoans, to this kind of laboratory grade stuff. I could just brag all day on this system. Hey, you know, I didn't make the technology. I just found a way to throw it together, which is what I do best. Anyway, yeah, so there you have it. That's the basics of my system. Amscope M600A microscope with a plan objective on it that I bought from eBay, somewhere on eBay. That's an upgraded objective to replace number 3. 40 power. Oh my god, that thing is so good. It's a little big, so you have to be careful when you rotate the turret, but yeah, it's lovely. Modified with LED lighting, white LED lighting, and by the way, I just put a MOSFET in that control circuit to replace the transistor because, yeah, blew another one. It's eating them. It's the 3S packs. It's killing it off. It's just a little too hot. I'm going to try power MOSFET next if the little one doesn't work out. And the QuickCam Pro 9000 modified as well, and virtual dub doing the dirty work there on my Acer laptop. My Acer Extensive 5420, if anybody cares. Good laptop. She's been my baby for a good couple of years now. Never let me down. Got her on eBay with a shattered screen. You could see some dude got pissed and punched it. You could see knuckle marks in the fragmentation. I mean, man, it was like dust. He hit it so hard. There were even dents in the backside, in the foil lining in the backside of the screen assembly. And I'll tell you what, I fixed her up for like $100, and I've never looked back. She's been a good girl. And yeah, okay, so there's my setup, and I'm babbling freely. I better move on. Lots more to come. We still got to do the field trip to get the samples and show you a little bit of the live stuff under the scope. So the magic day comes and you are going sample collecting. Now what you want is a big body of water. Oh hey, ducks, that's cool. Haven't seen you guys in a couple of years. You want a big stagnant body of water that doesn't have real water flow, because this helps organisms accumulate. And you're walking, and you're thinking, but where do I take my samples from? And you're looking and you're seeing pond scum, you know, algae floating there. That's alright. And you're walking along and you're seeing tadpoles and maybe some bubbles of gas and whatnot. And then you see it. This is perfect. Look at this nasty, icky crap. That is exactly what you want to go after, where the surface of the water looks actually scummy, like continuously scummy. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a chore to get at, but trust me, so worth it. This kind of stuff is where the really accumulates, and you get the greatest diversity of life and the greatest oh my god, concentration of organisms. Yeah. The hell is wrong with me? Anyways, so what I really want is out there, but I don't really want to get waist deep in muck to go get it. So what the hell, I'm going to stick close, because this is really scrungy anyway, and just kind of work the sediment like so. Make sure you get some bottom sediment, and it's always a good idea to bring more than one jar, vial, or whatever, so you can get a lot of samples. Now, you do this right, you'll get not only a lot of bacteria and protozoans, but you can also get some algae, diatoms, if your area is prone to freshwater diatoms, and which are really, really cool. And also larger organisms like Daphnia and etc. And look at this. I want some of this. Some kind of algae or aquatic plant. And take that and by hand kind of ball it up. I know you can't see, but I've only got 2 hands. It's all God gave me. Fight it into the stupid vial. Pack it in however you have to. Okay, like that on the top, and then wash it in. And it comes right back out. That was great. Okay, break off a piece of plant. Use it as a tamping rod. Okay, and then fill it in with water, and there you go. Now you got a nice plant sample. It didn't work out so hot, but that's okay. I'll just shove it in there. There's my lid, and there we go. So I've got 2 samples, and let's get one more. Where is it going to be from? I really want that surface scum, but that's okay. I'll pass. What I think I'll do is get some of this brown crap. It's really slimy. Okay. So just kind of work the sediment. I got more of the plant material. There's a nice, gross, disgusting mess there. Stay away from the larger organisms. You can't do much with them anyway. Things like tadpoles and fish eggs and whatnot. Really, I mean, you can't put it on a slide unless you do some dissecting. If that's what you're out to do, great. But if you're in for microorganisms, don't waste your time. Go for the sediment and the surface scum. That's your best bet. Take a quick look here. Notice the color of this water. There's kind of a bluish greenish cast. That's important. You want to look for that. That is blue-green bacteria, blue-green algae, that kind of thing. And they are excellent subjects for microscope, really. I might have hit this spot, but really it's the same thing all along the shore of this lake. It's really the same kind of aquatic biosphere, if you will. Anyway, so yeah, we got our samples. I got 3 jars, or excuse me, vials, and we're good to go. Now we run it home quickly as we can to preserve freshness, stick it under the microscope, see what we can see.